The Sega Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't.
What features do you think make good selling points for games? An immersive world and interesting character development? Challenging obstacles and boss fights? Or what about how big the file size is to download?
24 megs worth of weapons, worlds, and weirdos old killers up against Nintendo's biggest game ever.
Because for some reason, video game marketers in the 90s suddenly started doing a lot of bragging about how big the game was. And when I mean big, I don't mean the world is so expansive. No, I mean 32 megs. It seemed kind of normal at the time, but it's so totally ridiculous now to imagine. I'm guessing, looking back, this was a direct result of the console wars between Nintendo and Sega. You needed quick stats to compare one system or game to another. It's not as easy to be like, well, you see Aladdin on the SNES had a more acrobatic Prince of Persia feel to it, which goes with how Aladdin acted in the movie, while the Genesis version was more focused on action and combat. No, you needed... Genesis is 16-bit, and the NES is only 8, so it loses. What I'm showing here is by no means a comprehensive list. I just randomly flipped through some old magazines and looked up some box covers for some examples. There's gotta be so many of these out there. But I just find it so weird that I wanted to share some of these pictures. Can you imagine if someone these days was like, you should buy this game because it's a whopping 60 gigs? Like, that tells you nothing. All of these examples I was able to find were for Super Nintendo games, which surprised me a little. Maybe this was something that Nintendo was touting more than Sega during the console wars? It might also be that I'm just more familiar with SNES and knew which titles might have had something like this on them. I was genuinely surprised that the Vector Man games from Sega didn't mention the game size at all. There's plenty of good things to say about Super Mario RPG. I don't know if 32 megs was worthy of a bullet on the box. Super Empire Strikes Back says, experience the richness of a 12 megabit interactive Star Wars universe. Secret of Mana was really trying to tell everyone about that massive 16 meg card. Not only was it on the front of the box, it's also in their full-page advertisement as well. In addition to the ones I've come across so far, I'll be on the lookout for others as well and perhaps post a follow-up. Does anyone remember using these cart sizes as ammunition when talking about why one system was better than another in school? Do any of you have examples of Sega games that used the game sizes in their advertising? Are there any other ones that you can think of that I didn't mention here? Share your memories below in the comments, and as always, happy gaming.